Hi, it's me again. Sorry I haven't been posting for a while. I just life gets in the way, and I've been posting a little bit to my other channel, and that's why I haven't been posting as much here. But I tried to make up for it with my YouTube Shorts, and perhaps that's in the short run. Perhaps that's one of the better things to do because I could crank out those faster and it's more focused and I don't have to put in all those extra features like I'm lazy to do right now. I figured I'd hop on and talk about I tried to list five fears that I have. Now, I wondered what your fears are. Maybe you can comment in the comment section. What are your great fears? Now, I excluded in my list of four, by the way, in case I forget them, they are using a Toastmasters trick. They are, oh, gee, I forgot them already. One of them is ostracization. One of them is girlfriend. One of them is someone from my past. And one of them is screenwriter. Okay, so I got that out. I excluded things like getting Alzheimer's, which I think of as worse than actual death. I thought of bankruptcy. I thought of being kicked out with no place to live. But everybody has those fears. What affects me personally? What have been my life experiences, my own idiosyncratic life experiences that have caused me to have these specific fears? Okay. One is screenwriting. My fear is, and I should preface this by saying there's a line from a Star Trek The Next Generation episode, I think, that has, if you know the Klingons, there's a Klingon character who's a crew member on the Enterprise in the Next Generation. His name is Worf, and a very stoic figure. And he says something like, only fools have no fear. Only fools don't have fear, meaning only a fool says that he doesn't have fears. I think you must be brave in order to admit and acknowledge that you do have fears. My four fears are, number one, not being able to be known for my screenwriting or be known for my creativity. That's number one, and I just underline that under screenwriter. Number two, not being able to eventually find a girlfriend. I've been looking, I've been wanting to find someone who's Jewish, and as a matter of fact, last week, a coworker messaged me and said she has she's non-Jewish, but she has someone who is Jewish. Weird stroke of luck. Like, why can't these Jewish people, even in this area, why can't they find me? Why can't I find them? I grew up with a Jewish mom. I identify very strongly with being Jewish. Being Jewish is not just celebrating Hanukkah instead of Christmas. I mean, it's a very deeply personal thing. It's a way of life. It's a lifestyle. It's something, especially in the Jewish culture, you celebrate with family. Like if I were younger, I guess if my thoughts would still be on having children, and they would grow up and have bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah, depending on the gender. Bar mitzvah for boy and bat mitzvah for a girl. And it's a Jewish lifestyle, and this is connected with that fear. Like, I'm 48. I'm going to be 49 at the end of this year, in November, mid-November, and November 14th. And I just am afraid that I will never find anybody. I mean, all right, you know what? I'm going to say I'm a virgin. Like, I have not experienced that wonderful experience, that wonderful pleasure that I don't know what it. I can guess what it's like, but um, I have I have just not ever had a real girlfriend, and I guess partly because I'm well, a lot of the reason is because I'm focusing. I'm trying to find someone Jewish. And I mean, dating in general is fine. I mean, if I don't care about specifically marriage or moving towards something serious, but I feel like I can't, I feel like I can't be serious with a woman who isn't Jewish or who isn't planning to become Jewish. And I don't want to coerce anybody, so I'm stuck. So that's my second great fear. My third is kind of a fear. It's ostracization. My 30th high school reunion is coming up. It's this year sometime, probably in July. And from what I've learned since then, a lot of them accepted me and respected me. But at the time, I felt like an outcast. Outcast is too strong a word. Like it, outcast implies that you were sort of part of a relationship with them. I wasn't even part of a relationship. I just went to school and was friendly with the people who talked to me, but that was it. And earlier years, I was made fun of, and or just, I guess it's deeply buried whether I was really made fun of. Somebody said, I asked somebody, and he said, yes, you really were made fun of. And I buried that, and I've put that in my past, so to the extent I don't even remember a lot of how I was made fun of. I got an impression as if I wasn't part of their world and they weren't part of mine, and they didn't know me well, and that dovetails into the next one, which is number 4, which is one person in my past that I did make some efforts uh, to demonstrate and show what I'm really like, and I'm happy that she knows me to some extent, or at least she showed that she knew some traits about me, and I wish we had talked about that more, and I was trying to. One of my 4 greatest fears is that I'll never be able to like warm the ice, the rift between us, and just to be friends again, and be on not necessarily constant talking terms, but just that she doesn't hate me, and that we can some periodically or sometimes like talk or something. And I came up with those 4. I couldn't come up with any more of them. Is there anything? Oh, well, while I'm thinking at the moment of whether there are any more fears to mention, I want to mention that Toastmasters trick that I alluded to earlier in this video. I was a member of Toastmasters. It's a public speaking public speaking group, and you may not know that. Yes, I was in a public speaking group. It's an international organization. There are chapters that give you opportunities to speak in front of an audience. And I actually joined it because I was in an earlier group. I was in the Masonic Lodge, and I would say a number of times. Even in the scripted openings, I would say ums without even realizing it. I just tend to say when I'm thinking of something to say. So somebody recommended going to Toastmasters, and I did, and I was in it for a few years, and then I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford the dues, so I stopped. But I did get some out of it. I did get something out of it. And so one trick that I learned was to come up with a list of things, a list of items to mention. Of course, you should try not to look at your notes if possible. So I try to come up with some like some route that would help me memorize, like a mnemonic device, like something that would help remember all four, the basic concepts amongst all four, and perhaps string them in like a phrase so that I can just remember the phrase, and that would trigger me to remember the four individual ones in that phrase. Sort of like an acronym. You know, if you remember the acronym itself, you can remember each letter stands for a separate sentence or a separate concept. So that was my Toastmasters trick. I can't think of any more fears. So if you have any fears of your own, I'd be curious and interested to learn what they are. Maybe I've forgotten something. Maybe you'll jog my memory and I'll think of something myself. So until next time, so long.